Hi, everyone, and welcome to Fierce Friday, the Million Mom Movement Fierce Friday. My name is Dominique, and I am one of the newest council members. So I am, I believe, the first council member that does not have any children yet. And honestly, I'm honored to have that space on this council because I want to use my story to inspire women to be proactive with their physical and financial health journey for themselves and their families. So, for those of you who don't know my story, I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida right now. And I was raised on the standard American diet with absolutely zero knowledge about the toxins in our food or their connection to lifestyle diseases. I remember watching my grandfather spray Roundup religiously in our backyard to keep weeds from growing in his garden. And he passed from cancer when I was 18 years old. So I'm deeply proud to be a part of this council, to use my story and my grandfather's name to educate, inspire, and provide resources for families like mine who not only need the education, but also the accessibility to take our health into our own hands. So my mission is to help families regenerate their bloodlines on a physical, emotional, and financial level. So I want to thank Dave, Amy, and Naiva, as well as my other fellow council members that are on today for welcoming me to be a leader in this community, and also all of you for joining us today. So before we get into today's topic, which is holiday freedom, how you can earn income from home and be present with your loved ones this holiday season, I want us to first start with our Million Mom Movement pledge. So who in the audience would like to unmute and share or say our pledge? You can raise your hand virtually and I can call on you. Who's our lucky guest today? Oh, hi, Michelle. Okay, perfect. Let me share my screen and pull up the pledge and you can unmute.
Hi, loves. Gladly read our pledge for us. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free from man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations, and I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And what does the pledge mean to you personally? Oh, let me unmute you again. There you go.
Sorry about that. Yeah, this is my creed, my credo. This is what I live and embody, and it's what personally moved me from a state of unconscious living and a state of disease into finding my seat at the table of the conscious collective and supporting many others. And so this is something that I live by and something that has directly had a profound impact on my life. So yeah, thanks for asking. Good to see you,
Beautiful.
Dominique, in this chair. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you too. And I'm really grateful as well to be here. So thank you. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Like I said, today is about holiday freedom. So if you could drop in the chat, what does freedom mean to you around the holidays? Maybe that's time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom. Maybe you want to spend uninterrupted time with your loved ones, the ability to have financial abundance, to travel or to celebrate with an overflow of gifts to show your love to the people you care about. Maybe holiday freedom looks like solitude for you and just being able to take this time in the winter season to go within and slow down, which is also a blessing. So, yeah, what does that mean for you? Okay, perfect. People are saying sovereignty over my time. Ooh, a 2-week meditation retreat. That's beautiful. Being able to celebrate and connect with spirit in the way that I love, to say yes and be available for my daughters and school functions. Absolutely. Time freedom, all of that is necessary right around this time to be able to create our life by design and what feels best to us. So a lot of times, right around this time of the year, unfortunately, a lot of people are stressed. So you could drop a 2 in the chat if you've ever felt stressed around the holidays. I know I'm going to share a little bit about my story around this time of the year, but most of the time, people, especially in America, are dealing with financial stress, this overwhelm of dealing with expenses, expectations for gift giving, right? This time stress because this year has flown by. I still can't believe that we are like 2 or 3 weeks out from 2025. So a lot of people feel overwhelmed with this burden of time, of not having enough time to shop or just to take time for themselves to slow down. And then also, right, the health stress around this time of the year. A lot of times people are neglecting their physical and mental health due to the holidays. We all know overindulging in processed foods and sugar right now is in abundance, and just that lack of maintaining a balanced diet, right, or even physical movement around this time. So the stress can be very overwhelming and keep us in this state of feeling blocked and not being able to create the freedom that we desire. So a little bit about my story around this time of the year. I've always loved the holiday season. So my birthday is actually 2 days after Christmas. And the month of December has always felt like a month, honestly, of just overflowing love for myself, especially self-love. But before I discovered Purium, the holiday season left a weight on me because I felt trapped not having this abundance of freedom that I really truly craved, right? I wanted the time freedom. I wanted health freedom. I also desired financial freedom. I used to work in the restaurant industry as a hostess. So this time of the year is our busy season. And I live in South Florida. So this is the time of the year where the snowbirds from the north fly down south for the warm weather. And, they are always out and about and at restaurants. And so I used to make a lot of good money around this time. They tip very well. But with that, I would commit a lot of my time and energy into working. And I used to put my financial health above my physical health. And I do feel that we deserve to have a balance within both, right? So I want to say I put my financial health, I put money over my physical health, and then my physical health suffered. So I remember always being exhausted. I don't know if maybe you could put a 2 in the chat if you know anyone that works in the restaurant industry or the hospitality industry around this time of the year. Everyone is exhausted. I would pick up overtime hours just to pay my bills. And I remember even just relying on chips and holiday snacks. Like everyone was always bringing in donuts and cookies and chocolate that I would just snack on throughout the day. I never had a balanced meal to sustain this amount of energy that I was giving to my body. And sometimes the days would go by so fast that I would look up and I hadn't even had anything to eat. So working this much around the holidays, it took a toll on my physical body and also my mental health, but also emotionally because I wasn't able to spend that quality time that I wanted with my family. So I remember my first time living in Miami. My parents came to visit for Christmas that year, my first year living here. And I was so excited for them to escape the cold weather back home in Kentucky and experience Christmas on the beach. But that week that they visited, I had to work so much that I wasn't able to actually spend time with them. So that time freedom that I was looking to spend with my family, I wasn't able to experience that at that time. And I remember leaving them in my apartment to go to work, and I just felt really guilty inside. So enter Purium, right? Purium is the solution to all of these things, our physical, our financial health, and our time, creating time freedom. So when I found Purium, it was in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic, which was right after I was laid off from the restaurant. So my only source of income was gone overnight. And I remember I was just relying on my savings. So the superfoods definitely, nourished my body back to life after racing around the restaurant and never really pouring into myself. But that business opportunity provided a sense of freedom that I had never experienced before. So with this business model with network marketing, one of the number one things that I love about this freedom opportunity is that we get to work from anywhere, right? We get to work from Wi-Fi. So if you are traveling during the holidays, or maybe you're working another job, you can take this business with you. I wish that I knew about this when I was in the restaurant, because at that time I would have definitely worked, but I would have given myself some time to build this business on the side. So you can work part-time hours or whatever commitment you can give to this business from your phone and just share health with your community. So you get to set the tone, you get to create your own hours. And most of the time, honestly, I'll just speak for myself, this business doesn't really feel like work, right? Put in the chat if you feel that this business just is easy to share and feels seamless. It doesn't feel like an overbearing experience of work, because that's what I was used to, especially trading my time for money at the restaurant. It was a physically demanding job. And with this, it's so seamless, just sharing a code or sharing a story or a video with someone from my phone. So we get to genuinely, connect with people about health, share our stories, and just share how this opportunity naturally flows within our life, and then how it can support the people around us, right? And you never know who you share this with, whether they will become a customer or become a brand partner with you and lock arms with you in this business. I remember one of my business partners, she went to a holiday party, and it was a dinner party, and she was just sharing her story and her before and after photos with the lady that she met. And the woman actually ordered 2 Ultimate Lifestyle Transformations right there at the dinner table in the middle of dinner, because she was so excited by her story and her testimony and seeing the transformation that she experienced. So it's so easy for us to share. And in that moment, she made, an extra $144 in a matter of seconds just by sharing her story. So this opportunity of having the time and the location freedom, no matter where you're at around this time of the year, you can share this opportunity and generate extra income for yourself. And then another one of the things that I love about this business that creates that freedom that we're looking for around the holidays is the team effort, right? So that's what makes this business an opportunity for us to lean into community, right? So we are not working alone. We're in business for ourselves, but we're not by ourselves. So not only do you get to launch your business with people that share the same core values as you, but you get to also partner with your friends and your family. And so around this time of the year where you're already around your loved ones and you're around people that you care about, and they're also looking for extra income, you can work together. So that's the blessing, right, of multi-level marketing, network marketing, and creating income in community. So residual income, it not only supports our financial health, but it also supports our emotional health. And especially, as women, being able to have an opportunity where we can feel supported financially, that's not based on our own efforts. When I was at the restaurant, I was working so much because if I didn't clock in, I didn't make any money and I wasn't able to pay my bills. So with this opportunity, being able to mentor people and work with my team, I'm able to create that income that's not strictly off my own efforts. And I remember in 2021, because of this business, I was actually able to fly back home to visit my parents for Thanksgiving, and I took my business with me. And I remember there was one time that we were watching a movie together, and I checked my back office and I saw so many new names and people that I never knew that were placing orders. And that just really excited me and made me just see the possibility of this blessing that we have of being able to expand our impact through others. And that's truly where we want to be when we're thinking about making a difference and stepping into leadership, is to empower others with this opportunity. So not only did, I was able to spend that time with my parents and be present with them, whereas a few years before that, I was in the restaurant and they were at home in my apartment. So making an income while being at rest and being around your loved ones is something that is indescribable. And I believe that a lot more people, a lot more families deserve to experience that. And then, yes, that passive and residual income, right? It's deeply necessary right now, especially in today's economy, and especially around the holidays, right? We are in this business of health, and this is the time of the year where a lot of people are thinking about or considering new ways to take their health to a new level. And so we have an opportunity that supports their physical and their financial health. So I wanted to share a story briefly. Unfortunately, my brand partner, she was not able to be here today, but I just wanted to share her story with you guys. Her name is Jacqueline Kidd. She was my very first Fast Start Diamond, and she lives here with me in South Florida. She is a retired bank teller, and she actually started her Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation in October of 2021. She was having a really bad time with her digestive health. She couldn't drink cold water without throwing up. It was so bad. And her daughter actually reached out to me on Instagram and she was like, I don't know what is going on with my mom, but I see that you're talking about, gut health and nutrition. And I think my mom needs to reset her gut. So she started her ultimate lifestyle transformation. She released 18 pounds within her first 30 days. And she was able to finally drink cold water after 7 days on the program. But she also regained her self-confidence at 57 years young. So that was her physical transformation. And because she was retired, she was looking for something that she could create extra income at home, or she could create her own hours, but also that she could do something that really empowered her spirit. So when she had this incredible transformation, she immediately thought of all of her family members and she wanted them to feel as good as she felt in her body. A lot of them were dealing with diabetes and high cholesterol, and she just thought this was such a seamless resource to help them transform. So that November, she actually partnered with me in business, and in October, she partnered with me in business, and she just took off right away. Helped about 30 of her family members get started on their transformation, and she was actually able to use that income to cover her plane ticket to go back to Atlanta to spend time with her sister and her sister-in-law and the rest of her family that lives there. So I remember she sent me this photo of them. I wish I still had it. It was years ago, but she sent me a photo of her entire family. She has a Jamaican background, and they all had power shakes and super aminos and Biomedic for breakfast that Thanksgiving morning. And that was night and day from where they were a year before, where they would have plantain sandwiches and just a lot of, heavy cooked foods that don't really support our digestive health and don't really support us feeling our best in our body. So that was like a complete shift for her family culturally to be able to transform together. So that was one side of her story that was really powerful, being able to have this opportunity of freedom during the holiday season. But she also was able to scale her business that month. So she ended up achieving Fast Start Diamond right 2 days after Thanksgiving. And she was so excited because not only was she generating extra income, but she was also partnering with her daughter. She partnered with her sister and her sister-in-law. And she was teaching them and empowering them how to share it with their community and their networks. And she was just felt so fulfilled and so excited about this opportunity to be at home and present with her family and receive income. And at the same time, everyone has energy and everyone feels so vibrant and alive. So it truly is like this gift that honestly just keeps on giving. So I wanted to share really quick the opportunity of Diamond. And for those of you who don't know, or maybe you're a guest here with us today, the Diamond rank within our company is the first leadership rank. And this is when you're able to empower others to partner with you in business and share this opportunity of financial freedom. So it opens up other aspects of the bonuses. And so you get into monthly profit sharing and then also lifestyle leadership bonuses. And so even if you are thinking about partnering right now, I know we're a few weeks out from Christmas, but launching your business today can really set that foundation for you to create extra income now, but also scale it as we go into 2025, right? We don't want just a few couple of hundred extra dollars right now and not have that consistency or that residual income. And this business is that gift that keeps on giving. So even if you aren't at the diamond rank, or if you launch your business and it doesn't scale it immediately there, this is an opportunity that's available to you to have that freedom that you truly desire for your family. So that was when she achieved Diamond, was 2 days after Thanksgiving. And within this company, we actually get our bonuses every 15th of the month. So that set the trajectory for her for December 15th. Within that month, she actually was able to generate, over the scale of her first 90 days in business, over $5,000 in bonuses. And so having that bonus right before Christmas was such a blessing for her family. And then also the mentoring bonuses that she received and her family received by working together as a community and as a family. So this business model to me is truly a dream for families to not just get healthy together, but also generate wealth together. and to have the freedom to do it together and to be in community. So if freedom is truly in your heart for yourself and for your family, then this opportunity just covers all of those bases. So I wanted to pass it to some more testimonials and stories. I'm going to pass it to my fellow council member, Naeva. I know she's been a part of this business for over 10 years, or 10 years, I believe, and has an incredible just journey of not only creating freedom for herself, but also her family and empowering others as well. So, Naeva.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful presentation. And thanks for sharing those beautiful stories. They're so inspiring. And yes, I've been a part of this amazing community for 10 years. I started as a postpartum mom and I was overwhelmed. I was undernourished. I was stressed out. I had 5 kids in 4 different schools and a new baby. So you can only imagine how stressed out I was by 6 a.m. in the morning, just trying to get them all off to school after sleepless nights breastfeeding my baby, and then entered these incredible superfoods that really just helped to nourish me and give me something that I could do for myself first. And as moms and caregivers out there, the one thing that we always do is we're always giving to everybody else, especially right now with the holidays coming up. We're thinking about everybody on our list that we can do something for, but don't forget yourself on that list. Put yourself first. And so that's what I learned through this incredible community, was to do something for myself so that I could really show up for my family that much more. And this nutrition did exactly that. It helped me to have a more balanced mood. I was getting better sleep at night. I had less inflammation, more energy. I was able to show up as a mom better. I was able to show up for my friends better. And it just changed so many aspects of me just being a super busy mom and having something I could do for myself that was nourishing me and also nurturing and balancing like my nervous system. And so then I saw the business opportunity. And at that time, when I was introduced to these superfoods, I was 4 months postpartum, I was on maternity leave. And so I was looking at going back to work and what that would look like. And I was really overwhelmed with the thought of having to put my baby in daycare so that I could go make $11.50 an hour. And I don't know where you live, but where I live, that is not very much. After taxes, I would maybe be able to pay for the babysitter and put a couple dollars of gas in my car. It just didn't seem worth it for me to go back to work. And so when I got the call from my boss that was like, "Hey, I want to get you back on the schedule next month. What days work for you?" That overwhelm set in. And that's when I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way. And I started to lean into what this was as a business opportunity. I knew I loved the superfoods, I knew the ingredients were incredible. And so I got to go to my first event. I got to meet Dave and Amy. I got to hear their story, their mission, their vision, and my mind was totally blown open. And I was so incredibly grateful that I had found my home. I had found this incredible opportunity that I could align with because everything, all the boxes were checked. And so I really leaned in, and that was in September of 2014. And so we're going into the holidays and the stressful season, and I was so grateful that I had these superfoods. We had all the after school activities with the kids, all the sports, all the different things, and still having a small baby that I had on my hip at all times. And so life was crazy busy, but what I was able to do is in those first few months, I was able to create an income so that way when the holidays came around, I was actually able to go do things that we hadn't done before, or maybe purchase bigger gifts, more meaningful, longer lasting quality gifts that in the past, I didn't feel like I could afford. And so that was my first like, wow, I can actually go out and I don't have to ask my husband for money to be able to buy gifts for the kids or for like, what is our budget for the holiday? I was able to actually go and, find the things that were quality. And of course, I still had a budget, but I had a little bit of a different type of budget because we weren't as limited on the income that we had coming in. We had this extra income that I had created over those few months. The best part, though, the biggest gift is that I didn't have to go clock in at work. I was able to stay home with my baby. I never had to put my baby in daycare. So here I am 10 years later. I never had to put my child in daycare. I've never gone back to work since maternity leave. I fired my boss from that point on. And this opportunity has allowed my family to do so many things that weren't possible in the past. Create memories, go traveling, go see family, go do things that really in the past, money was a financial burden, was like it was limiting us on our ability to do certain things. And I know that's real for so many of us because the economy is crazy. We have to work multiple jobs in most places to just make ends meet. And so it's really important that, we lean into this social sharing economy and what we have here with this incredible community of support where we get to help people get healthier. We get to be the example first of living a healthy lifestyle and then help others do the same. And we all are rewarded along the journey. So that's a little bit of my story. And I'm just so grateful for all of you here. And I am super excited today because we have a new council member and a fellow woman on a mission who has been part of this community for nearly 10 years as well. And she is an incredible birth worker and mom, and she has so many talents. I'll let her introduce herself, but I'm just so excited to have her on the council and to have her share her story as well today. So I'd love to pass it over to Grace.
Awesome. Thank you, Nava, and thank you, Dominique. I have been so inspired by the stories already. So if you're listening today and you've already heard something that has felt moving or exciting, go ahead and drop a 1 in the comments. I know that each time I hear another woman's story, I am reinvigorated and reminded about why I decided to come on board. So this time is really near and dear to me. As Nava said, I'm certified in holistic midwifery. I'm a longtime birth worker, and I have really dedicated my entire adult life to the healing arts. And so any of you who are involved in the healing arts, maybe a massage therapist or a coach or a yoga teacher, there's this constant energy, as we've talked about already, of giving, of showing up and of giving. And I think also what I've noticed for a lot of us who are in this field is that there's an energy in the back of our mind that's like, well, maybe I'm not getting paid that much, but I'm bringing my gifts and I'm helping people. So, that's okay. And what really happened for me with Purium, and I'll tell you my entry story in a moment, but I really want to bookmark that it shifted my mindset around the value of who I am and what I bring. And that there is not only a way, but a need for those of us who are in fields of giving and giving and giving to really be sure that we are receiving enough and more to fuel ourselves and to fuel our families, and so that we have what we need so that we can offer from a full overflowing cup. And that was a real game changer for me and a lot of the women that I ended up working with and that came on board for me with Purium. So just to share my story, I actually came on board in November of 2015. And so I was nearing the Thanksgiving holiday, and I had seen my dear friend Rachel and another longtime best friend, Ann Zuber. I had seen them sharing on social media about the health changes that they were having. And I'd known them both for a very, very long time and knew kind of their health stories intimately. So to see the way that they were showing up and having this like revival in their health and their presence and their energy levels, I was 2 years postpartum. It would be helpful for you to know that my primary goal most of my life was that I wanted to be a mom. I really wanted to be a mother. And that happened for me at the age of 42. So I was perimenopausal and postpartum simultaneously. So at 2 years postpartum, feeling so depleted and so tired of hearing myself tell my beautiful 2-year-old daughter that I didn't have the energy to play, was having to take a nap every single day, right around 3 o'clock, a huge crash in my energy. And it was a little bit heartbreaking. because I had finally realized my like lifelong dream of being a mom. And then I felt like I wasn't properly fueled. I wasn't feeling supported. I didn't have the energy to give to her. And so what Rachel and what Anne shared with me was this opportunity to really nourish myself in regard to my health. I knew that there was a business opportunity, but I could not even wrap my brain around sharing it. I was so tired and wanted to, get my head above water. So it was amazing. I actually felt like a lot of guilt. I just want to share this because I think that other people might feel it too. After I ordered my package, I was like, wow, I just invested in myself in a really big way. And the holidays are coming up, and I could probably like funnel that income to somewhere else. And I literally had this story going in the back of my brain that was like, I'm just going to return it. I'm just going to return it. I never should have done that. I'm just sending it back. And as soon as I opened the box, and this is really no exaggeration, I opened the box and it was like, I just got this total energy when I started looking through the products and just everything that was involved. I just knew I was like something really amazing for myself. So I immediately got on the superfoods, and going into Thanksgiving, a time traditionally in my family where you're like, I'm just overeating and, just feeling like kind of worn down, and after the holidays, not feeling good. I went into this Thanksgiving having just done a really incredible cleanse and amplified my energy and my nutrition. And I remember that moment of feeling like, wow, that was really different. I didn't feel like I needed to overeat. I felt really nurtured and nourished, and just ate what I wanted and felt great and went for a run afterwards. So that in itself was really amazing. But the other piece was that I just started genuinely sharing on social media. I was shaking my shaker bottle and playing music and like dancing with my daughter on my hip. And people just started asking me what I was doing. They were like, whoa, your energy is through the roof. Like you look like you're having fun. You look like you're feeling great. What's going on? And so I just started sharing. I literally was able to pay for my entire experience, my whole package that I was so, so worried about. I paid for the whole thing, and I made like $1,000 extra within a month and a half. So I went into the new year, instead of like dragging myself to the finish line of the year, feeling all full and then like, oh, I've got to do a resolution. I've got to catch up on my health. I like hit January 1 feeling amazing and having an extra $1,000 in my pocket. So that was really profound. And if we just fast forward to today, I was in the gym this morning, and I've just been like going at it. And I was thinking how this year, because I have supported like the holiday season, what we've always done on my team is like set up an incentive to support people through the holidays, healthy through the holidays. We don't have to wait until January 1st. Why don't we roll into the new year already feeling amazing? And so I realized that that naturally happens for me. I just start to feel happier and healthier, and I like kick it all into gear. And that's been a pattern for me since 2015. Today, one of the really amazing things is that my daughter she has several school events. And instead of me missing them or having to ask for time off, this has been the pattern. I got to go today and like set up this whole beautiful situation for what she's going to be experiencing this evening. And that has really been the hugest, hugest blessing for me. After wanting to be a mother literally my entire adult life, having the freedom and the flexibility to work from home where she sees me, she has grown up in Purium. And I'm creating a business that I can leave to her or give to her or bring her on board. And she knows about it. She sits in on Zoom. She's in the living room right now, just listening to all these incredible women talk about how they are creating freedom in their lives. So for me, it's having the income I need and more. It's being able to model for my daughter that there is a way that we can do what we're passionate about, do what helps us feel happy, what helps other people feel healthy, what's educational. It's just, I can't think of another area where me putting my energy into something checks all the boxes. It supports the people who supported me to come on board. It supports my daughter. It supports the farmers who are growing the food. It supports Dave and Amy. It's just so many of us want more time and feel like we don't have enough time to do what we want to do. So that is just one of the things that I love. I know that when I'm putting my time into my Purium business, it's just really overflowing and touching into all of the things that feel really important to me. So I feel really honored to be a member of the chair of the Million Mom Movement, and thank you for giving me a moment to share my story. And I hope that it touches and inspires some of you.
Beautiful. I'm so excited to be connected with you, Grace, and your story is amazing. I love that you were patient with yourself and your body, obviously, to be able to create life, and you have this beautiful relationship with your daughter, and then just the fact that she's able to witness you be empowered through this opportunity on the health side and the wealth side. It's such a blessing. And I put in the chat that yes, this opportunity, Purium checks every single box. And I love when you said, Grace, that you initially invested in yourself through this opportunity, and you looked at it at first from just the space of the financial commitment that it was, right? But look at this wealth of abundance that is brought into you that's beyond just money. The love, the community, the freedom, the time. And that's what we want to think about when, not just with the holiday season and what we're giving back to ourselves and our community, but this overflowing freedom and love that we want to create for our community that's beyond just the financial commitment that you create when you either start your business or start your transformation. It goes so much more beyond, what your initial investment is, because it is the gift that keeps on giving. So I wanted to also open it up to the floor, to the whole community to share your all stories. If you have a story around the holidays when it comes to this business opportunity, or even on your health journey, would love for you to share. We'd love to hear your stories. I don't know if Allison, if you're able to share your story. Allison Jade. Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hi, sorry. Thank you so much. Hi, amazing call. I'm just listening from the other room, relaxing, because that's what we get to do when we need it. And it's the most beautiful gift in the whole world. So when I started Purium, I was also I had never broken through a minimum wage salary, even though I had, I was a fashion designer and I was like a yoga teacher and I was trying to cater and do all these things. And like Grace said, like I was doing things out of helping people. And so I sort of justified to myself, like I'm helping people. I don't need to be making money, but I was living on such a so in scarcity all the time, and it was creating a lot of anxiety. And we couldn't do anything. We couldn't even take a vacation more than a week. Jared had to work really long hours to balance, and that led to, my mental health declining and so many things that come with just the hustle and bustle of very busy lives, trying to take your children to daycare and all the things. And so Purium was just this like gift that came into our life at exactly the time that I needed it. It was 2018, beginning of winter, around this time of, 6 years ago. And in this time, actually in a year and a half, I was able to match my husband's salary. And we have been doing it together since 2020. And it's the most, I'm just so grateful every single day, because there's countless ways that I can say this has improved my life and our family's life and generations ahead, and generations behind, because I know that I'm carrying my ancestors with me here and that I'm doing things my grandmother never had opportunity for, that she desperately needed. And it gives me so much joy to feel, the wind beneath my wings of the people who I'm here to help and the people who are behind me, and just knowing that we can just give people options that are looking for it, because people are praying for this. I didn't even know this existed. And I didn't know that this community existed, such amazing, like-minded people. And it's not work. It's like always, but never working. And so, we get to really find our joy in it and our gifts. And it's the most beautiful thing for all people, everyone. Everyone deserves this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. I love the passion in your voice. Every time I hear you speak about this, it lights me up even more. And I love that you even started your share off that you were like, I was, in the other room relaxing. And sometimes I think, especially around this time of the year, especially as women, we feel this overwhelming sense of having to overgive or be in such a state of dysregulation because of either providing for the family or cooking or just doing all the things. And now we get to actually lean into rest and relaxation and still support ourselves financially. And that is a state that every woman and every family deserves to have, and to know about this opportunity, because that's the one thing that a lot of us, just listening to you, Allison, and everyone else shares, that we were praying for something like this. We had no idea it existed. I didn't even know this business model existed. I didn't know anything about network marketing. And when I found it, I was like, what? This is such a gift. So when we think about gift giving around the holidays, imagine giving or gifting someone this opportunity to just transform their entire life and their family. And I love that you mentioned your lineage, because like Grace is doing for her family and, her children, even Naeva, that are watching her right now. But imagine the grandkids that come from that and the great grandkids. And this will be the state of living that's normal to them. And it ends, with us for it not being something that we knew. So thank you for sharing. We have a few more minutes. Does anybody else want to share? You can raise your hand. I can unmute you.
I was unmuted.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Rachel.
Hi. Aw, it's so cool, Dominique, because I remember when you first started and just like watching you like fly through the ranks and just, just lighting up the screen. It's so wonderful to see you and hear your story. All of you, it's just so empowering. I mean, this is what it is to be in this community. It's just like we all fall in love with each other and we all just have like seen each other move through some really hard things. And, for me, I was struggling with my health. I had Hashimoto's for 9 years. And so all the things that come with autoimmune disorder, absolute fatigue, malaise, no desire to do anything, complete lack of ambition. I had a bleak future. I was going to be homeless in my mind. I thought all these terrible things about my life were going to happen. And then something happened where then my mom died, was in a tragic accident. And then I found this, and this was my ticket. Like, this was literally my ticket to freedom. While I was struggling with my health and going through just major shock and pain, I suddenly found this opportunity to improve my health. And at the same time, I saw the opportunity like, oh, is this something, is there a business here that I can do where I don't have to actually go anywhere, because I was so exhausted. I really didn't want to work photography anymore. I was a wedding photographer and, I traveled around the world. It sounded luxurious, but it was really a pain in my butt. I was just not wanting to be on the planes all the time. I did not want that lifestyle. And I kind of, started to fail and started living pretty much off any savings I had. And then pretty soon that dwindled and I ended up living in my car, to be honest. And there was this whole year where I discovered this and got well. I mean, literally immediately in my first 10 days, I had energy. And it sounds too good to be true when you hear something like that. But in the first 10 days, I literally was no longer a couch potato. I literally wanted to get out and run. I had so much energy. I thought, this is crazy. Why do I want to run? Like, I wanted to get on a treadmill. And so I would wake up every morning at like 6 a.m., just boing, like, I'm awake. Oh my gosh, I have all this energy. And I would go to the gym. And that became my new home. I just wanted to be there all the time. I felt this like sense of life coming back to me. Vitality came back to me. And then what was really so amazing is I was sharing it with people like Grace, all of a sudden my friend who always wanted to have a baby, like all I knew all the time was that Grace wants to have a child. This has got to happen. And then when she had a baby, finally, she was so exhausted, she couldn't even be a mom. And so to be able to bring this to someone like my best friend and see her go from like, oh my gosh, I can't even lift a finger and play with my kid, to suddenly, working out in the gym like me and just like running around like a wild person. I remember all of a sudden her videos changed. It was like her jumping in the river with her daughter. And then now they're like running around the playground. And it was just like, whoa, totally different person. So for me, this was something that gave me an opportunity it actually gave me a purpose to live, because, my life was so bleak really at that time that I really didn't want to. And it just gave me meaning in my life, and to meet with all these sisters, and there's some cool brothers, it's like I met with all these amazing people, and they uplifted me, because everybody wants everyone to succeed. And the way this business model works is we actually are helping each other win. And everyone's win is everyone else's win, because we all earn income together. I can't earn income unless my friends and my family are earning income, and the people I love are earning income. That's what actually pays me. So I always tell the people who come to this business, I say, you don't work for me. I'm not your employer. I'm not your boss. I work for you. I work for you because, I'm here to empower you so that you thrive. And then that's what actually pays me and both financially and emotionally. It's like this synergy in this business is just like something so incredible that I've never had anywhere in my life. Probably the closest thing I ever had to this feeling was like, teaching children and watching them get it, watching them have a transformation in the classroom. And this is similar. We're watching everyone transform their health and giving people an opportunity to transform their finances. And then there's like this other emotional component, which is like, I literally became a leader, and I learned that by helping others. And then suddenly I just kind of like rose in this way. But the last thing I'll say is that one of the biggest gifts this gave me is, a year into this, my father died, and he had diabetes, and I was like, this is going to be my legacy. I'm going to not let anyone else die of a disease. And I became very adamant that I was going to share this with everyone because I couldn't save my father. And I went to the Philippines to meet my family. And one quick little story is that my sister, I'd never met her. I'd never met my brother. I had two brothers in the Philippines and a sister. I'd never met them. They'd always been somebody just on FaceTime once that finally came. And I would see her on Facebook, and she always looked like this. She always had her mouth closed, and she didn't want to smile, and she just looked unhappy. And I thought, I have this poor sister who's unhappy, and I'd never met her. And I never talked to her on the phone because she doesn't speak English. And so I went to the Philippines, and the first thing I saw was like how destitute my family was. And it was really, it was very, very, very disturbing to me. And I knew my father had been paying for their way, and he had died. And so I literally took on his job, or his role. And because I'd been doing Purium for like a year, I actually had income that I could actually start paying for them to have their way. And I started creating businesses. I helped my sister create a nail salon business. That's what she wanted to have. And now she has a hair salon business. And the coolest thing is I remember, and we were sitting around a well, right? The well is like where you pump like this. That's where you shower. That's where you bathe. That's where you get your food and your water and everything. And I said, my sister, I said, would you like me to get, well, here's what happened is I finally saw that she was a smiley person. She was always smiling, but she had no teeth. And so in her pictures, she was always not smiling because she had no teeth. It wasn't because she wasn't a joyful person. But I said, hey, sis, I was like, would you like some teeth? Would you like me to like buy you a set of teeth? And she just thought that was like, what? Like, she was like, no way, that is way too expensive. No. Like, and I said, well, no, I really, if you want, I mean, I'm not saying that you have to, or that there's anything wrong with your smile, but like, would you like some teeth? You could eat food, you could, and she was like, are you serious? I mean, she started crying. She's like, are you for real? And I bought her some teeth. And then all of a sudden on Facebook, there was a picture of her smiling. And she said, sis, she goes, now I can get a job and look pretty. I can smile. And so that was probably like the most rewarding thing, was just to be able to see my sister smile. And then being able to see them get into an apartment eventually and like get out of, that situation. And got my brother teeth too. He was so excited. He got to have teeth as well. And they have a lot of monsoons over there, and I've been able to send money during monsoon seasons for them to get food. Pretty much anytime they need something, I have the income to give it to them. And obviously I've gotten out of living out of my car and stuff. So, what's possible here is not being, if you've ever been a solopreneur, where you have to try to make ends meet and you're trying to figure out how to do the business and how to do the marketing and has anyone ever been there? I mean, drop a 1 in the comment if you're somebody who works for yourself or you've experienced that, where you're like, you kind of have to like always hustle, right? Well, what's beautiful is that you get to have mentorship in this community. Look at these amazing people who are talking, like these are your mentors. You get to have mentors in this community. You get to have hand holding. You have somebody who's going to call you and say, how are you doing? When I was a wedding photographer, no one called me and said, do you need help? Hey, do you know how to actually, set up a photo shoot? Do you know actually how to like do the contract? I never had anyone to help me. I had to figure it all out online, talking to people, and I had to it was stressful. But here, the website's built in, the people are here, the mentorship is here, the leadership is here, and people will love you. And so you get to be loved, and you get to be loved in this business, and you get to love others. I mean, I love every single person on this call. I can say that I've hugged every single person who's talked in person. I've had a chance to have really loving moments with every single one. I really love each of you. And that's this community. And so I'm just so grateful to be here. And welcome to the Million Mom Movement Council, Gracie. I'm so happy for you.
Such a beautiful share. I love your story, Rachel. I remember reading that post on your social media about your sister. This is my first time hearing you speak about it, and it brought me to tears when I read it. And just watching your journey over these years, like your story inspired me early on when I first found this business. And I was like, this is what's possible for her. Of course, it's what's possible for me and others. So if you are watching or listening, like this is such an incredible opportunity, and imagine like what you can really pay forward to your family and your loved ones because of this. So thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And Grace, did you want to share one more thing? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'll make it really short. When Rachel said the piece around, people really supporting each other in this business, and for me, as a woman who grew up in a time when I do believe that the programming sometimes has been with women that we compete for attention, we compete for position, and this has just like turned that on its ear for me, which has been so powerful to actually work with a community of women who are outrageously supportive and kind and lifting one another up. And I love that that is the energy that I get to impart to my daughter. And also, I notice recently in my area that there are several women who are creating networking groups for women entrepreneurs. And they're basically doing exactly what we do in Purium. They're having social media trainings, they're getting together and sharing products, and they're putting a lot of time and energy into it, which is incredible. And women are showing up and loving it and talking about how it's a really different model than what they usually experience. And in network marketing, and specifically Purium, which is my only really network marketing experience, is we have already been doing all of that. So I just love that. And I wanted to punctuate that piece that you said, Rachel, because it's very powerful. And watching other families, other women's children grow up in this company is also something that I really love and appreciate. So I'll leave it with that.
Thank you for adding that. I love that you mentioned a lot of people are doing what we are doing here. They just don't, one, probably know about it, or also don't have the component of this nourishment. So imagine integrating this into their community and their network. Oh my gosh, like imagine the impact exactly that's going to have on them. So yeah, just thinking about this opportunity, you can share your story and share this blessing of health and wealth with other networks, especially with women who need this, especially around this time of the year. But imagine the impact that you can create going into 2025, and just be that voice of support and nourishment for people who are struggling and suffering right now around the holiday season and don't really know how to get out of that space. So I will, go ahead and go straight into our call to action. And the number one call to action is to partner with us in business in this community, like Rachel shared and all the other council members on the Million Mom Movement today that shared. We are really leading this movement, and it's such a blessing for our families, and we want to be able to pay it forward to others. The only way to do that is for you to invest in yourself, in your transformation, and your superfoods, and to share your story and to think about the people around you who need this. So our opportunity is truly to impact more families and to just be willing to be a leader, right, in your community. So our call to action is to get back to whoever invited you to this call or shared this replay, and share with them what resonated with you the most, the story that stood out to you that really empowered you and made you want to just consider learning more about our opportunity. And they'll be able to take the next steps to show you what we have available, how we can support you wherever you're at, and also connect with the people that you know of in your community that need support. So that is our call to action today. And I also want to, or Naida, do you want to share about the special gift we have for everyone?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we do have a special gift for you all. It is the holidays. We wanted to share this gift with you of a Christmas recipe book. It has some fun Christmassy recipes. If you have any others that you'd like to add to it, you can go ahead and send them through via Million Mom Movement on Instagram. But we have some great recipes for you, some fun cookie recipes. And then the cookie, the next one has the frosting where you can put Can't Beat This or Spirulina to color the cookie frosting, which is one of my favorites. It's a way to get superfoods into the Christmas cookies that you're going to leave for Santa or share with your family this holiday season. So have fun with those. And if there's others you'd like to add, you can send them through to us on Instagram.
Wow, I did that frosting one. I'm definitely making as soon as possible. That's amazing. It's amazing. Imagine yourself making these incredible recipes and launching your business at the same time and helping people, right? Eating nourishing foods with your family and creating income. Such a blessing. So beautiful. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight and listening. I keep saying tonight. Joining us today and supporting all of our stories, and we look forward to seeing you back here next Friday, same time, same link for our Fierce Friday, and have a beautiful weekend and see you guys soon.
Beautiful call. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.